Hey guys, for this video, I want to take a look at this WINSOME kitchen cart. Gonna get it unboxed, all put together, and then check out the finished product. So, let's begin. Here is all the parts and pieces all laid out. It's actually not too bad. The tabletop portion comes all put together, so you don't have to figure out how to do all that. And this is the little mechanism for when you drop the leaf down, that'll let it come down, and then you pull it out here to hold it up. So that's how that's going to work, but that all comes together. You don't have to do that. You have your 4 table legs here, and at the bottom, they are all labeled, so you know which one is which. The rest of these pieces, I didn't see labels on them, but they should be unique enough that you know what they are. Like, this has the magnets for the drawers, and that's got the metal plate for the magnet to stick to. I'm actually pretty impressed with the quality of the pieces. I actually think it's better than I expected. So that's a nice start anyway. And every single piece is wrapped in its own individual piece of plastic and a lot of styrofoam in there. So it should be all safe in that regard. And this is all the hardware that's included, and considering how many pieces are over there, there's really not that much. There's some hex bolts. There's 2 styles. These shorty ones and the longer ones. These pins, there must be an adjustable shelf. You have the plugs to cover all these screws. We have this set of screws here. I'm guessing there's a towel bar somewhere. I actually don't even remember from the picture what's all here. We have 3 handles that are individually wrapped with their bolts. The casters seem like pretty good quality. And it does come with the hex wrench that you'll need. But I'm going to use a 4mm hex socket when I can to make it a little bit easier. You're going to need a Phillips screwdriver for putting the handles on. And these are also Phillips, whatever they're used for. So that's the only thing you'll have to supply. Now, looking at the instructions, it's not a ton to them. We do have this page that labels all the parts, gives you a letter for each part that's included. And then the same for hardware and the drawer pieces. And then an exploded view of everything and where it all goes. And then over here we start with the actual steps. So we're going to start with step 1. We're going to be working with our cart top, obviously flipped upside down. These pieces are labeled G. They're the ones with these notches cut off along this side. And we're going to use 4 of these X screws, which are the shorter ones that look like this. I already attached this side, so the screws are going through this hole here into the board, just like so. And then this side just lays like that. And then we're going to attach this screw here, and then the one up there on that side. So it'll look a little something like this. Step 2 includes a little fun now. So we're going to build this little portion first and then attach it to the bottom. So building this, we need our legs D1 and E1. You'll see there's 2 sets of grooves. You'll have 1 set that are facing each other and then 1 set of grooves facing you. So as I have them sitting here, you can see the groove facing this other one, and we have a groove facing me here. Now, F is going to go how we have it at the floor. And that looks like this piece here with these dowels, and you can see one of them is shorter than the other. It's a little more prominent on this side. And it shows the short one going upward, and we even have a sticker on here, if I can focus on it. Anyways, that says up. So that's going to line up with our holes all the way at the bottom. Laid it down to make it a little bit easier. You can see these just push in. Hard to do with one hand, but they just line up with those holes there. Now the chrome rod is going to go in this hole right here, across to this hole here. So it's going to look something like that. Of course, we're going to push it together here in a second. And then we need panel L, and that's probably the most confusing part. As we look at the parts list, it calls L the longest piece, so I'm guessing that is this one, and there's only 1 of these. It lists the short piece as being a quantity of 2, and since there's 2 of these that are the same size, I'm guessing that is short, and then medium was 1 also, so I'm going to guess that one's medium because it's smaller than this single one, so deductive reasoning. And that piece is just going to slide in that groove like so. Let me get my second hand and we'll actually make it look right. There's our little assembly. We're going to take 2 of the T screws, which are the longer ones. We're going to attach it here on those pieces we just put on in the previous step. And notice it's the opposite side of this little drawer stop. The opposite side, so the back. I got the back panel all on. Again, we're on the opposite side of the little drawer stop there. Now, the tops are kind of coming outwards and not holding that piece in. I'm guessing once we get these side pieces on, that's going to tighten everything up and bring it together like it should be. But we'll find out. For the next step, we're going to attach I, which has your little magnets on it for the doors to close. You're using 2 of these T screws again into these middle holes on that assembly you put together in the last step. You can see these things have to face what would be up in the air. When this thing's right side up, that'd be facing the floor. For this step, I folded the leaves in and rolled this thing on its side because this piece is kind of hefty and you don't want the whole weight of it just being supported by those screws. Plus, it's hard to put in while also holding the shelf up. So, it's on its side. You're putting the 1 screw in here, the 1 screw in down there, and make sure this back panel is tucked into the groove here, and that does tighten everything up with your dowels and stuff in the previous step. Now for step 4, we're attaching our remaining legs, B1 and C1, with those T bolts at the bottom, basically the same way these were attached over there. And then we also have 2 T's going into the front here, which again is the same as back there. And your 2 K's are going to be your side panels. And in the little instruction sheet, or the parts paper, it was K, and there's 2 of them, so you're looking for the 2 that are identical. First leg is all on with that side panel. Now down at the bottom, I have that side panel already in the grooves on those 2 sides. We're just going to take our last remaining leg. You're going to have the bolt that lines up there, the bolt that lines up there, and then this hole is going to go into that dowel up there. The weight of it pushing down on this little stopper seems to be getting in the way, so we're going to roll it on its back real quick. Just like that, all 4 legs attached, and we're on to the next step. For the next step, we're playing with the doors. So let's go ahead and put the handles on first. Inside the bag was obviously the handle itself, and then your 2 bolts you need. And you guys know how this goes. The handle's on the opposite side of the metal thing, and otherwise we're just, throwing it on there nice and easy. Handles are on. Next thing we want to do is put this thing back on its head. The 4 pins that were in that bag are actually the pivot points for the doors, so that's what I get for guessing. So there's these little holes at the top and bottom. This guy just kind of pushes in like so. And like so. Just let them hang out there for 1 second. We're going to have a little something like that. And then we need to attach J, which is right here, to the bottom, sinking in those little pivots into J. Now for the next step, we're going to put our 4 T's at the corners to hold J into place, and then we're going to add those casters in there. So you can see this is how J sits. You have holes in the front for these pins for the doors to sit in. And then there's a groove, and you want these 3 side panels all to sit in the groove there. And then we're going to add our 4 bolts, 1 at each corner. Most of the way there, we got to put our casters on. Now when you put these on, the ones with the brakes go in the front, no brakes go in the back. The instructions say we might need to do a little tappy-tappy, so let's see what happens. No, that wasn't so bad. No tappy-tappy needed. looking good, but now we have to assemble that drawer. Already attached the handle to the face. I've already done that before. Let's get the other pieces. The drawer is going to go something like this. Obviously, you have the front. We're lining up our groove at the bottom all the way around. The front pieces are going to screw into there. The backs just screw into the other board. So you can see the screw holes there and there. We have this channel right here because that slides into this guy right there. And we need to make sure we put our bottom in place that's going to sit in those grooves before we start attaching too many screws. I can, however, start with these guys right here. Front screws are in on both sides, just snugged up a little bit, not fully tight. Once we get it looking like a little U, we're going to just slide this guy the other way into here like so. Then we can attach our back panel and tighten everything down. There it is, all finished, ready to go, looking beautiful. Got the drawer put in. Slide on out nice and easy. Stops on the drawer stop there. You can swing that out of the way if you need to pull the drawer completely out. Have the little shelf underneath here. Have our additional storage. Got the casters, we can spin around, do a little dancing. Little arms underneath here we can shove in. Push those guys in, let the leaf fold down. Pull that leaf down. Brakes work good. Give it a little spin, a little do-si-do. And our backside. Forgot, we do have our little wood plugs that got to go in. There's 3 there, 3 there, and then the same on the other ones. They kind of push in. Ideally, if you have a little rubber mallet or plastic mallet, give them a little tap to sink them in. I put that one in a little too much, but otherwise they'll fall out. Plugs are in. Now we're officially done. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching.